Ethical trade means different things to different people, but to me, in a nutshell, it is about how a factory, a designer, a business, a brand looks at the impacts of its policies and practices throughout the supply chain on the human beings involved in that supply chain. So it's taking a responsibility, and it's taking a look at the human element, and that can be taken as far as looking at both labour standards and conditions in the factory, and going further back, looking at in agriculture, for example. It can also be taking another step to looking at being able to look at the places that you're sourcing and looking at the cultural significance and identity of those places and celebrating the skills of that local source. So it can be taken to greater depths and depending on your business. But that in a nutshell to me is what ethical trade is. It's about the human element in the supply chain.
I think ethical can be, like Didi said, it can be split. For us, it's two things. There's two sides to it. First part of it is the social responsibility side. It's about your supply base. It's about nurturing that supply base. It's about what happens down the chain of that. The next part of that is also about the fair trade side, which is what we try to bring in. And it's working much more further down the chain. It's working at the farmer level, which is right at the bottom of the cycle. And with any business, it's the most difficult part to start at and to sustain, because it's a whole different mindset. For Topshop, it's about how do you bring that into fast fashion? How do you make it work? How do you work to different lead times? It's a whole different way of thinking. But for me, in terms of what ethical fashion is about, it's about adding back to communities. It's about empowering communities so that they can sustain themselves as a business.